Leeds United are quietly crafting a tactical identity that's flying under the radar this season. But make no mistake, it's starting to deliver results. After some early season frustration with the team's lack of creativity and that spark of individual brilliance, there's been a noticeable shift in how the team is approaching chance creation. And it's not just about waiting for magic moments. It's structural, it's strategic, and it's proving effective. Daniel Farke has been fairly open in his press conferences about not having a squad loaded with flair players. There's no Jack Grealish or James Maddison to unlock a defense with a single dribble or backheel. But what Leeds are doing instead is building a system that forces errors, presses high, and pounces the moment a window opens. It's a calculated chaos, and right now, it's giving them an edge in a very competitive Premier League landscape. A recent analysis by Kyle Newbold in the Yorkshire Evening Post highlighted some very telling data. The key stat? Shot-creating actions, or SCAs, that are a direct result of defensive work high up the pitch. These aren't chances born from slow build-up or set pieces. These are chances snatched from opponents before they can even think. Leeds, so far this season, have recorded 6 SCAs that started with a tackle, interception, or duel won in the attacking third, the highest in the Premier League. The only team that comes close is Bournemouth, with 5. Everyone else is lagging behind. One standout moment that encapsulates this new Leeds DNA came in the last match, when Noah Okafor got on the scoresheet. That goal was born from Anton Stack's quick interception and the immediate vertical pass that followed. Both actions, the turnover and the assist, fall under the SCA metric, showing exactly how Leeds are turning defense into offense in a flash. And this isn't a one-off. This is a pattern. It's not just Okafor who's thriving in this system. Dan James and Willy Gnonto have also been key pieces in the forward press. Their pace and aggression make them perfect weapons in Farke's setup, constantly harassing opposition defenders and forcing rush decisions. It's a style that demands high energy and total buy-in, but when it works, as it has been, it completely disrupts the rhythm of the opponent. For a team that lacks pure playmakers, this high press becomes the playmaker. The tactical implications for the upcoming matches are fascinating, especially with Bournemouth next on the fixture list. Both teams favor pressing from the front, so we might see a kind of tactical stalemate, or a chaos-filled, end-to-end game where whoever blinks first gets punished. Leeds, however, have been more consistent when they manage to push the line of engagement higher up the pitch. They look vulnerable when forced to sit deep, but aggressive and in control when the ball is being won in the opposition's half. It's this identity, pressing with purpose and recovering the ball quickly, that's allowing Leeds to manufacture chances without needing a magician in midfield. And there's something to be said about how effective this approach could be over a full season. While individual brilliance can win you games, a system wins you consistency. The data so far is showing that Leeds aren't just running around aimlessly trying to press. These are coordinated triggers, well-rehearsed patterns, and players who understand their roles. For supporters who may have been frustrated by a lack of creative spark, this is the evolution, not toward flamboyance, but toward function and sustainability. The matches against Bournemouth and Tottenham will serve as major benchmarks. Can Leeds continue to generate chances through defensive pressure alone? Can they outpress a side like Bournemouth, who pride themselves on doing the same? And against a side like Spurs, who are far more possession-heavy and structured, will that press hold up or get bypassed? These are questions that could define Leeds' trajectory heading into the winter. But this pressing identity isn't just a temporary fix. It's slowly becoming the backbone of Farke's tactical philosophy at Elland Road. It's a recognition that if you can't always afford the best players, you better have the best structure. And right now, the structure is working. Beyond the tactical development, there's also been movement off the pitch that's worth noting. Leeds United and Everton have finally reached a settlement over the PSR breach that dates back to the 2021 to 2022 Premier League season. That year, Everton stayed up by the skin of their teeth, while Leeds barely avoided relegation. But it later came to light that Everton had breached profit and sustainability rules, essentially spending more than allowed, which called into question the legitimacy of their survival. Fast forward to now, and after lengthy legal back and forths, Leeds have agreed to a confidential settlement with Everton. The exact financial terms haven't been disclosed, but the message is clear. Leeds believe they were negatively impacted by Everton's overspending, and they've now received some form of financial acknowledgement. Burnley and Leicester, who were also directly affected, with both being relegated, continue to pursue their legal cases. But for Leeds, this chapter is closed. What's significant here is the principle behind the case. Leeds argued that retrospective punishments, like the point deductions Everton received in 2023, do nothing to undo the real-time damage done during the actual season of violation. If a team breaks the rules and survives while others are relegated, the impact is irreversible, even if the punishment comes later. This settlement doesn't fix the past, but it sends a strong message about accountability and fairness in the Premier League. It also raises questions about how the league enforces its own rules, and whether changes are needed to prevent these situations from repeating. There's a broader frustration among clubs like Leeds, who operate within their financial means, only to see others break the rules and seemingly get away with it. And that frustration has only grown after this week's failed vote on new financial regulations. The Premier League had proposed a new financial framework modeled loosely on UEFA's system, introducing a squad cost ratio that would limit clubs spending on wages, transfers, and agent fees to 80% of revenue. The second part of the proposal, called anchoring, would limit the highest spending club to 5 times the income of the lowest revenue side in the league. It's designed to create a more balanced and sustainable competition, but as expected, the big clubs weren't on board. During the meeting, no agreement was reached. Smaller clubs favored the changes, hoping for a more level playing field, but the wealthier sides, who benefit from the current financial freedom, weren't willing to give up that advantage. As a result, the current PSR rules will remain in place for at least another season. The door isn't closed completely. Further discussions are expected, but it's a blow to clubs like Leeds who are pushing for reform. And in the background, the threat of a government-appointed football regulator looms larger. If the Premier League can't find a way to self-govern effectively, outside oversight may become a reality. For now, the league is buying time, but pressure is mounting from fans, clubs, and governing bodies who want more transparency and better enforcement of financial rules. Another story developing this week involves Pascal Struijk, who continues to be one of the most consistent performers in a Leeds shirt this season. Now in his 7th year with the club, Struijk has quietly become a mainstay in the back line and a crucial part of the system Daniel Farke is putting together. And while summer transfer windows usually come with rumors and uncertainty, Struijk himself has now confirmed that although there was interest from other clubs during the last window, he never considered leaving Elland Road. Speaking recently in an interview with BBC Radio Leeds, Struijk was candid about the speculation, but made it clear that his focus has always been on helping Leeds push forward. He admitted there were inquiries and some level of interest from elsewhere, but said he never doubted his place at the club. His contract runs until the summer of 2027. Giving Leeds some breathing room, but also opening the door to questions about whether a new deal might be discussed, especially if his form continues to hold steady. Struijk has been a vital figure for Leeds so far this season. He's not the flashiest player on the pitch, but his calmness in possession and ability to help build attacks from deep have become central to how Leeds operate under Farke. Defensively, he reads the game well and offers a strong presence on the left side of the backline. And while he occasionally has those erratic moments, the odd lapse in positioning or risky ball, those instances are rare. What matters more is his consistency, leadership, and familiarity with the club's expectations and style. There's no doubt that players like Struijk, Alon Meslier, and Archie Gray would have been seen as valuable assets had Leeds needed to sell to balance the books or comply with financial regulations. But holding on to the core of the squad, even in the face of inquiries, shows a level of strategic patience. Leeds chose not to cash in, instead keeping a nucleus that knows the club, understands the environment, and can form the spine of a team capable of staying in the Premier League, or, if necessary, fighting back from the Championship. Struij's comments reflect that mentality. This is not a squad looking to scatter at the first sign of trouble. It's a group that wants to compete together. Contract talks are likely to heat up as the season progresses. If Leeds find themselves in a strong position by the time the January window approaches, we could see early moves to secure Struij's future long-term. That said, the club might prefer to wait until the end of the season, especially with their league status still undecided. There's no pessimism in that approach, just realism. In a division as brutal as the Premier League, nothing is guaranteed, and the club is wise to keep its options open until more clarity emerges. On the subject of future planning, Leeds are already keeping an eye on the January transfer window, with some early reports hinting at least one potential addition. The name that has surfaced most often so far is Harry Wilson from Fulham. Wilson is reportedly admired by figures within the Leeds setup, and with his contract set to expire at the end of the current season, there's an opportunity for Leeds to make a move at a reduced cost if Fulham are unwilling or unable to extend his deal. However, Fulham are not sitting idle. Reports suggest they're preparing a new contract offer for Wilson, and if that goes through, the window may close quickly for Leeds. On the flip side, Wilson himself is said to be interested in a move to Elland Road, so even if Fulham extend their offer, there may still be a path forward if the player pushes for the move. But these are very early-stage rumors, the kind that tend to swirl more aggressively as the window approaches. For now, it's more about Leeds positioning themselves rather than making hard moves. Outside of Wilson, there are other names being loosely connected to the club, none more intriguing than Manchester City's teenage talent, Nico O'Reilly. The midfielder has been gaining some attention for his performances with City's youth and senior squads, making 2 starts and a couple of appearances off the bench this season. Leeds are among several clubs, including West Ham, Burnley, and Chelsea, who are reportedly keeping tabs on his situation in the event he becomes available for loan. As of now, City are said to have no intention of letting O'Reilly leave, whether on loan or permanently, during the January window. That could change depending on how his role evolves over the next few months. Sometimes players who are promised minutes early in the season find themselves sidelined as things progress, especially at clubs like City where the competition for places is relentless. Leeds, knowing this, are doing the right thing by monitoring rather than jumping in prematurely. January windows are less about shopping sprees and more about seizing opportunities that emerge unexpectedly, and that may be exactly what happens with O'Reilly or other similar prospects. There's a sense that Leeds aren't looking to overhaul their squad mid-season, but instead want to make surgical additions that can help carry them through to May. The focus appears to be on cost-effective moves, perhaps loans or low-fee deals, rather than splashing out. That could mean targeting players who are out of contract, like Wilson, or younger players needing game time, like O'Reilly. Either way, it's clear that the club is keeping its options open and preparing quietly behind the scenes. All of this is happening against the backdrop of continued frustration around the state of financial governance in the Premier League. As mentioned earlier, the proposed financial reforms that would have reshaped how clubs operate were shut down during this week's vote. The squad cost ratio, aimed at limiting clubs spending to 80% of revenues, and the anchoring rule, designed to cap total spending at 5 times the revenue of the league's lowest earners, both failed to receive the necessary support. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on Leeds United. And make sure to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Oh boy, football fans are buzzing after what could be the most explosive interview of the season. Mohamed Salah, Liverpool's superstar forward, reportedly left the sporting world in shock after a recent sit-down that has quickly gone viral. Sources claim that Salah didn't hold back when discussing Leeds United, delivering comments that many are calling humiliating and unexpectedly harsh. The Egyptian international, known for his lightning pace and clinical finishing on the pitch, apparently unleashed a verbal onslaught that has fans and pundits scrambling to interpret every word. According to insiders, Salah questioned Leeds' tactical approach, their defensive organization, and even their mentality in high-pressure games. While the official clip has yet to be fully released, snippets circulating on social media suggest that Salah didn't mince words, describing some aspects of Leeds' play as amateurish and hinting that they're not at the same level as top Premier League contenders. Naturally, this has caused an uproar among Leeds supporters, who are now calling for an apology, while some Liverpool fans are applauding Salah for his unfiltered honesty. The timing couldn't be more combustible. Liverpool is gearing up for a crucial stretch of the season, and tensions are already high following a few narrow victories and high-profile matchups. Could Salah's comments spark an on-field rivalry hotter than usual? Football gossip mills are already speculating that Leeds players might respond in their next press appearances, and pundits are predicting an all-out verbal duel in the coming weeks. Some even suggest that Salah's comments might affect the psychological dynamics of future Liverpool-Leeds clashes, giving the Reds an unexpected edge or potentially adding fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, Salah's camp is reportedly staying tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying the full extent of the interview. Agents and PR managers are weighing damage control against letting the star's fiery personality shine, knowing that controversy sells in the world of football. Whether fans love him or hate him, Salah has once again proven that he's not just a force on the field, but a lightning rod off it, capable of setting the rumor mill ablaze with a few pointed words. One thing is certain, the Premier League just got a little hotter, and everyone is waiting to see if Leeds will bite back. Rumor or truth, Salah's comments have already dominated headlines, and the next chapter in this saga promises sparks, drama, and maybe even some payback on the pitch. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep getting exclusive news about Leeds United, be sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to reading your comments and opinions. See you in the next video, Leeds fans.